No one in the audience that night expected history to be made, not even the judges. People came for music, for talent, for surprises, but nothing prepared them for the moment when a shy Filipino kid stepped onto the America's Got Talent stage and sang something no one had ever dared to sing before. If you're watching this, trust me, don't blink. By the end of this story, you'll understand why millions of people hit like, shared the video everywhere, and subscribed just to witness what happened next. His name was Elias, a 13-year-old Filipino boy with a small frame, bright eyes, and a voice that carried more weight than he ever realized. He walked onto the massive AGT stage wearing a simple white polo, black trousers, and shoes that had clearly been polished over and over to hide their age. His hands trembled as he held the microphone, but his gaze stayed steady, focused on a dream he had carried across oceans. Simon Cowell leaned forward immediately. There was something different about this kid. Maybe it was the determination in his voice as he introduced himself, or the emotion in his eyes when he said, "I want to perform something very important to my country." The audience grew silent. Even the judges exchanged curious looks. Elias had come from a small barangay in Cavite, raised by a single mother who worked 2 jobs just to keep them afloat. Their tiny home sat at the end of a narrow street where neighbors knew each other's names and dreams were shared over simple meals. Elias had always loved singing, using it as an escape from struggles that no child should ever face, but he never complained. When his mother told him she couldn't afford music lessons, he taught himself from YouTube videos, mimicking singers he admired. When bullies mocked his accent or told him he wasn't good enough to chase an international stage, he stayed quiet, storing those painful words like fuel in his heart. The chance to audition for AGT came when a local community group sponsored him. They believed in him more than he believed in himself. He promised them he wouldn't waste it. He promised his mom that one day, he would give her a better life. And he promised himself, he would make the world see the beauty of his country. Back on the AGT stage, a hush fell over the room as Elias closed his eyes. For a moment, everything went still. Then, instead of the pop song or ballad people expected, he took a deep breath and began singing Lupang Hinirang, the Philippine national anthem, with a purity and strength that shook the entire auditorium. Immediately, Simon lifted his hand, stopping the performance just 5 seconds in. Elias froze. The audience gasped. His mother watching backstage clasped her hands to her chest, fearing the worst. But then something unexpected happened. Simon stood up, walked toward the edge of the judges' table, and said, "If you're going to sing your national anthem, then do it proudly. Start again. And this time, the whole room will stand." The entire audience, thousands of people from different countries, races, and backgrounds, rose to their feet. Even the other judges, Heidi, Howie, and Sophia, stood silently, respectfully. Elias stared at them, overwhelmed, his eyes welling with tears. He nodded, placed his hand over his heart, and began again. His voice soared. He sang with the softness of a prayer and the power of a soldier returning home. Every note echoed with history, struggle, pride, and love. It wasn't just a performance, it was a declaration of identity, a tribute to millions of Filipinos around the world working, dreaming, surviving far from home. The cameras panned across the audience, people wiping tears, others holding their hands to their chests even if the anthem wasn't theirs. A Filipino nurse in the crowd sobbed loudly, whispering, "Para sa bayan." A group of OFWs watching from the balcony clung to each other, overwhelmed with pride. Backstage, his mother could no longer hold back her tears. She fell to her knees, crying with a mix of fear, pride, and disbelief. When the final note rang through the air and faded into silence, the room exploded. A standing ovation roared like thunder. The crowd chanted his name. Even Simon Cowell, known for being harsh, brutally honest, wiped the corner of his eye before he could hide it. Simon leaned into his microphone and said, "Elias, that was not just singing. That was courage. That was history." He paused, scanning the cheering audience. "And I think the whole world needed to hear that today." Howie's voice cracked as he added, "You reminded everyone what true pride looks like. You didn't just represent your country, you honored it." Then came the moment no one expected. Simon pressed the golden buzzer. The golden confetti shot into the air, swirling around the little Filipino boy who fell to his knees in shock. His mother ran onto the stage, embracing him tightly as the crowd roared. It was a moment that felt bigger than AGT, bigger than talent. It felt like a nation rising through one child's voice. In the following weeks, the video went viral, tens of millions of views overnight. Filipinos across the globe shared it with captions like Pinoy pride, "We will never forget this," and "Mabuhay, Elias." Even international viewers who had never heard the anthem before said they felt the emotion, the weight, the beauty of it. And Elias? He didn't let fame change him. He kept practicing, kept learning, kept honoring the reason he started. In the semifinals, he dedicated another performance to OFWs worldwide. In the finals, he sang a heartfelt ballad for his mother that made the whole world cry again. Whether he won the show or not stopped mattering. He had already won hearts. He had already made history. He had already proven what one kid, one dream, and one brave choice could do. And this is why you should stay until the very end of his journey. Why you should like this video, share it with someone who needs inspiration today, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a moment that might change a life. Stories like this deserve to be seen. Voices like his deserve to be heard. And together, we can keep supporting dreamers like Elias who carry not just a song, but a whole nation in their hearts. Because sometimes, one performance can shake the world. And sometimes, it comes from the most unexpected place.